Even if you've shot an absolutely amazing long-form live stream or a beautifully polished 8K travel vlog, there's a tough, undeniable truth you have to face. The hard reality is that turning that raw hour-plus of footage into a stack of truly clickable short clips for TikTok, Shorts, and Reels is an absolute soul-crushing grind. You can spend hours just scrubbing through the timeline, setting meticulous markers for every potential highlight, and then exporting 10 separate clips manually. After exporting, you still have to tweak the captions, carefully resize the video for different aspect ratios, and then schedule each post individually. It's endless administrative work. But here is the alternative. You can let the right artificial intelligence tool simply do the heavy lifting for you, instantly unlocking your content's potential. I have been seriously testing a tool called Vizard lately, and honestly, it made that entire painful manual workflow feel like a relic from a completely different era. Down in my current timeline, I'm looking at a solid 45-minute creator interview that is packed with great information. Normally, I would have to spend an exhaustive amount of time just hunting for those specific moments that truly resonate with an audience. That means finding all the spontaneous laughs, isolating the absolute hottest takes, and carefully carving out every single quotable line for reuse. After finding them, you still have to trim, painstakingly reframe every shot, add precise captions, and then export each file separately for every platform. It is completely doable, yes, but that process relentlessly eats up entire days of precious creation time that you could be spending elsewhere. However, when I use Vizard, I simply upload the entire source file, and within mere minutes, the AI spits out a complete bundle of perfectly ready-to-post clips. Crucially, each generated clip is already optimized for the specific requirements of different social media platforms right out of the box. The true magic here isn't just that the software chops the video into segments. It actively finds the exact moments people are most likely to stop scrolling and watch. Then it formats those segments correctly so you absolutely never have to manually fuss with the settings again, which is a massive quality of life improvement. For anyone seriously trying to scale their content output across multiple channels, that fundamental difference in workflow is an absolute game changer. Now, let me walk you through exactly how I integrate this powerful tool into my established daily routine. First off, I export my master video file directly out of industry standard software like Final Cut Pro or Adobe Premiere Pro. I always make sure to keep a high-quality ProRes file on hand so that the source material remains perfectly clean before it even hits the AI platform. Once I have that pristine file ready, the next step is incredibly simple. I just drag that master video directly into the Vizard application window. The interface itself is honestly refreshingly straightforward, focusing purely on function. You upload your file, pick your desired editing style, and then you simply tell it to go. Within just a couple of short minutes, the AI gets to work, analyzing speakers, detecting scene changes, and flagging key engagement cues and audio spikes. After its initial sweep, it presents me with a neatly curated list of potential clips, complete with suggested captions, recommended thumbnail frames, and optimal aspect ratios. Here's a perfect example of this in action within that long interview I showed you a moment ago. There's this fantastic 3-minute stretch where the guest tells a truly hilarious yet very short anecdotal story that you just know will absolutely crush it on social media. Vizard instantly isolates that exact moment, suggests a perfectly trimmed 30-second cut, and automatically generates high-quality embedded subtitles for accessibility. It even proposes a few different punchy caption options that are already engineered to grab attention in a crowded feed. I can preview the generated clip side by side with the original footage, which is incredibly useful for quick validation of the AI's choices. If necessary, I can still easily tweak those in and out points by just a few frames, or I can instantly choose the final aspect ratio, like vertical for Reels or standard 16:9 for YouTube. The same piece of source footage, which once required hours of dedicated work, now becomes multiple platform-ready posts in just a matter of minutes. Another incredible use case I have been exploiting lately is the automated repurposing of long-form content into platform-specific crops. Instead of me manually having to keyframe the reframe for every single shot to keep the subject centered, Vizard intelligently handles the centering based on action and faces. This feature alone saves an astronomical amount of time when you are tasked with turning one single clip into 4 different necessary aspect ratios for different outlets. Now, I know exactly what some of you might be thinking right now. Isn't this just another generic generator that spits out noisy, unusable clips? I can definitively say that this is not the case because Vizard is designed to give you ultimate control without ever micromanaging your creative vision. They offer several distinct edit flavors that you can select, such as casual highlights, super punchy viral cuts, or even detailed educational breakdowns. The AI engine intelligently adapts its entire selection and editing process based on the specific tone you have selected, which is genuinely impressive. If the very first batch of clips the AI generates isn't hitting your mark perfectly, Simply swapping the flavor or slightly adjusting the target clip length usually corrects it quickly. Think of this as having a highly knowledgeable assistant who already understands the context of your content, but still provides you with essential choices rather than dictating the final product. Let's take a brief moment to compare this comprehensive workflow against other common tools in the creator space for a second. Traditional non-linear editors like Final Cut or Premiere are undeniably powerful, but they are simply not architected to proactively search for and isolate the best moments for you. That inherent inability to auto-detect highlights is precisely where the vast majority of your valuable production time gets completely sunk every single week. On the flip side, some of the newer single-purpose auto-generation apps can create clips, but they often fail to offer integrated scheduling or management features, forcing you to juggle many different tools. Then you have other specialized AI tools that focus entirely on image or video enhancement, like upscaling shaky footage or denoising those frustrating low-light shots. Those specific tools are fantastic for fixing source quality issues, but they will never automatically extract, package, and prepare your content into a ready-to-post schedule. Vizard strategically positions itself right in that powerful sweet spot, combining automated editing capabilities with essential content management features. It's not trying to be a complete replacement for your full non-linear editor when you need heavy color grading or complex visual effects. But when your primary goal is getting polished, publishing ready clips out to the world quickly, this application becomes an absolute lifesaver for your productivity. Speaking of getting content out, one of the features that genuinely sold me on using this platform regularly was the robust auto-schedule functionality. After all the clips are successfully generated, you can simply tell Vizard exactly how often you want to post new content across your channels. The system will then automatically queue up those posts, intelligently spacing them out based on established best practice timing data for each respective platform. You always retain the option to review the entire deck of queued content, swap out a thumbnail image, or quickly edit the caption before it goes live. But if you are exceptionally busy or on the go, you can honestly just let the entire system run on autopilot, trusting the schedule it has built. That single small automation step transforms what used to be a massive, overwhelming content backlog into a very predictable, manageable publishing calendar. And this naturally brings us to the content calendar feature, which is the central hub for all your published and pending material. Instead of relying on scattered spreadsheets, random sticky notes, and forgotten documents, you get one unified, single view of everything happening. You can immediately see what is already scheduled, what has successfully published, and which pieces are still pending your final edits. The platform allows you to drag and drop clips directly on the calendar to easily change the planned posting date without complex re-entering of data. You also gain the ability to batch edit descriptions across several posts at once, and even publish everything across multiple social platforms from this same interface. For small teams or ambitious solo creators who are trying to achieve serious content scaling, this level of centralized, unified control is an absolute game changer. Let me give you a quick, real-world example of how effectively this system operates under pressure. I recently had a massive webinar recording packed with so many golden, shareable moments that I wanted to spin it into a full month's worth of content. I uploaded that entire hour-long session into Vizard, deliberately selected the enthusiastic highlights flavor, and then simply let the automation run its course. Within just about an hour, the system delivered me 18 distinct high-value clips ready for immediate deployment. This bundle included short, punchy Q&As, a few very quick actionable tips, and even 2 slightly longer, compelling teaser pieces for other content. I then quickly reorganized those 18 clips on the calendar view, set a steady daily posting cadence, and exported the necessary final thumbnails for our brand assets. Without Vizard, taking on a project of that magnitude would have easily consumed multiple full days of my time, and likely required another person just for the management overhead. Now, let's be completely fair and acknowledge that no single software tool is going to be perfectly flawless for every single edge case imaginable. If your source video is extremely cinematic and demands frame-by-frame color grading or extremely advanced, nuanced audio repair, you should absolutely still perform that work in your primary NLE first. Also, if you happen to be one of those creators who is super particular about the exact in and out points of every single transition, then manual editing will always remain the uncontested king. But for the typical 80 to 90% of content creators who desperately need efficient, high-quality social clips, Vizard strikes that perfect balance between automation and necessary creator control. Compare this functionality again to those single-feature apps that only handle things like frame interpolation or simple footage upscaling. Those enhancement tools are genuinely useful when your original B-roll footage looks a bit muddy or slightly soft due to poor lighting conditions. I still rely on one of those specialized tools when my source material is just not up to snuff before I even begin the process. However, those specific apps won't help you plan an entire month's worth of content or auto-create compelling caption text or schedule across multiple endpoints at once. Vizard isn't trying to outright replace those necessary niche tools, rather, it beautifully complements them within a larger content strategy. If your original source file needs visual clarity, use an enhancer first. Then feed that newly pristine file into Vizard to multiply its overall impact across social feeds. Now, one of the little touches that I genuinely adore is the smart caption generation feature built right into the system. The AI analyzes the spoken context and then suggests intelligent, punchy copy that is usually 80% of the way to being perfectly post-ready. It also automatically generates accurate closed captions in several different languages, which is a huge time saver and significantly expands your global reach. And when it comes to the crucial thumbnail image, you have the flexibility to either select one of the AI-suggested visual frames or upload your own established branded thumbnail template. This level of convenience across captioning, language, and visuals makes the entire publishing step incredibly frictionless for creators. If you happen to be someone concerned about the security of your proprietary content or general privacy, know that Vizard stores your files privately. Furthermore, the platform gives you granular control over exactly who on your team or clients can access any specific project folder, which is vital for professional collaboration. And yes, for everyone wondering, there is absolutely a free trial available, so you can rigorously test the system with your own footage before making any financial commitment. I strongly encourage you to try just a single full-length upload and simply see how many genuinely good, usable clips the AI manages to find for you. I guarantee you will be pleasantly surprised by the sheer volume and quality of the initial output it generates from your raw material. Let's get to the absolute bottom line here. A tool like Vizard fundamentally changes the entire mathematical equation behind content production for every creator. Instead of laboriously spending days trying to squeeze a solid month's worth of social posts out of one single recording session, you can now achieve that same content volume in a tiny fraction of the time with consistent, high quality. That is not merely a matter of convenience, though it certainly is convenient. That is a direct pathway to tangible business and channel growth. It effectively grants small teams the content slicing capacity of a dedicated full-time editor without the enormous overhead costs of hiring one. For independent solo creators, this automation translates directly into a much more consistent posting schedule and, consequently, much more favorable attention from the ever-hungry algorithms. If this sounds like something that could genuinely revolutionize your content pipeline, I will be sure to link Vizard directly down in the video description for you to try out. Take one of your own long videos, upload it right now, let the AI work its specific magic to find those genuine highlights, and then schedule an entire week of posts. You absolutely do not need any heavy, specialized editing skills to get impressive results from this system on day one. I have a strong feeling that once you witness exactly how much time this process frees up in your schedule, you are going to get completely hooked on this workflow. Thank you so much for watching this breakdown of a tool that has genuinely changed my content strategy for the better. If you have already tried Vizard for yourself, please drop your single favorite use case or workflow tip down in the comment section below. I'm genuinely interested in hearing all the innovative ways that other creators are using this platform to efficiently scale their unique channels. For now, I will wrap this one up, and I sincerely hope to see you all in the next video very soon.